Hello everyone! I hope you are having a great day, or maybe night. Today, I am in front of the monumental cemetery of Milan. What is a cemetery? A cemetery is a place for dead people. When people die, they are buried in the cemetery, and then their relatives will come and visit them. Now, here is the cemetery of Milan, but why am I here? I have two reasons. First, this is not just a cemetery, it's also a historical monument. Many tourists come here to visit the cemetery because it's full of artistic and historical monuments. And the second reason, I'm going to teach you some vocabulary and idioms that you can use to talk about death. Let's start. Right in front of this cemetery, there is a huge open space, as you can see, and then there is the cemetery. Now, the entrance to this place is right over there, and now we're going to go in together. And we are inside the cemetery. Now, this place has a very huge open space, and in this open space there are lots of artistic historical monuments. Right now I'm going to show you around. This is a very old cemetery in the city. It was built because there were lots of smaller graveyards and cemeteries around the city of Milan. They wanted to put them all together in one location, and they made this beautiful space that is also, as I said, a tourist destination. So let's just go and have a walk around. That is the main building. I think it's a church. I'm not really sure, but in front of the main building there is this road that goes directly to a tomb. We're going to take a look at the tomb later on in this video. And you see, as we walk towards the tomb, on both sides, you can see the graves of people who are now gone. Well, and as I said before, it's a very artistic place as well. So it's not just a place for, people who are dead. It was a place for artists to show off their skills. So you see these gravestones, they've got lots of sculptures. What is a sculpture? A sculpture is that. A sculpture is that. It's a shape carved out of a stone. So you got lots of sculptures here. Some of these sculptures tell a story. I don't know what the story behind this one is, but it probably is trying to tell a story that, I don't know, maybe he had a family and then, I don't know, I can't guess the story just based on this tombstone. But you see, they try to represent something. Or look at this one. Maybe he died when his mother or his wife was holding his head like this. Who knows? I think it is now time to start our lesson. First, I want to talk to you about the verb die. We all die in the end. Die is a verb. Or, for example, he died in an accident. He died in an accident. So the past form of die is died. Now, what do we call a person who died? Like all these people, they are dead. Those who have died. Now you can say he is dead, or she is dead, or they are dead. You can also use the word dead for your cell phone. That's right. But when you say your cell phone is dead, what does it mean? It means there is no charge left in the battery. So you can say, my cell phone is dead, or my battery is dead. It means My battery is empty. There is no charge left. When people die, there usually is a funeral. What is a funeral? A funeral is when a dead person is taken to a cemetery and is buried in the ground. And all the relatives or friends or family members gather together. That is a funeral. Now, when people gather in a funeral, what do? Well, they are sad. They usually cry or they think about the sad memories, or not the sad memories. They think about the memories, but the memories make them feel sad. Why? Because he is gone, he is dead, she is dead. Now, they mourn for the dead person. What does it mean? It means they sit, they think about the memories, maybe they cry, what a good person he or she was, and they mourn for them. What do they do with a dead person when they take him to a cemetery? They dig the ground and they bury the person underground. Well, not always. In some religions, they burn the body, but some religions, they bury the body under the ground. To bury a body, or generally to bury something, means to dig the ground, put something inside it, and then fill it back in. So these people are all buried here. Okay, let's get back to this place. I still want to show you around. Now, this place are the single graves. It means there is a person buried inside this grave. But there is this whole other section in which there are larger monuments, larger tombs, and they belong to families, which means a few members of a family are buried there, like a father, a mother, and children. Let's go and have a look. All these tombs you see right behind me, they belong to families. So, as I said before, a few members of a family, or maybe all of the members of a family, are buried in a single, under a single tomb. For example, look at this one. And they are very, very beautifully designed. The architecture and the art embedded in the design of these tombs are amazing. Let me show you from a closer distance. So you see, this is where they are buried. And then above the grave, they have erected this large, beautiful, artistic monument. And you know, it's very scary. When you speak, you can hear yourself. Hey, I hope nobody responds back. And then there is this one. And you know, the name or the last name, or you know, something about the family is usually written. Oh my God, I can still hear myself. I'm gonna get away from this place. It's so scary. Let's go here and take a look at what we can see. So again, you see within these larger family monuments or family tombs, you again see some single ones of a single person. And this has made this place very, very diversified. A question for you. Do you believe in ghosts? Are you willing to spend the night in this place if they offer you I'm a bit scared now thinking about it. If they offered you $1,000, would you spend the night here? Well, not 1,000, but maybe 10,000. Look at that. How scary is it? It's spooky. I really like this passage. It's like the road to heaven, with all these trees and the shadow and the sunlight and all these beautiful monuments around me. It doesn't, that's the point, you know, although it is a place where people are dead and they are buried, it doesn't give you a feeling of disappointment. When you are here, you don't feel, well, of course, if you have someone here, you will feel sad, but it gives you also hope that they are in a good place. They are buried in a beautiful place, and that death is part of the journey. It's not the end. it also shows a positive mindset. And now, back to class, guys. I want to tell you a different way of saying that somebody died. Now, I was falling. You can say that Jack died, or my grandfather died, or my grandparents died. But you can also use the phrase to kick the bucket. To kick the bucket. What does it mean? Well, a bucket is a container made of metal, and it's usually filled with water. Now, what happens if you kick the bucket with your foot? It falls on the ground and the water comes out. So it's no longer useful, right? And the phrase kick the bucket, in fact, means to die. So if you say, my grandfather kicked the bucket, or my grandparents kicked the bucket 5 years ago, it means they died 5 years ago. But a nicer way and a more formal way to put it is to say that somebody passed away. Somebody passed away. And what does that mean? It means they died. So to pass away means to die. So again, you can say, my grandfather passed away 5 years ago. Or my grandparents passed away 6 years ago. So to kick the bucket, to pass away, or to die, they all refer to the same thing. And now, let's get back to this place. Here is another section of this cemetery that I want to show you. There are a few stairs. You take the stairs and you go up, and again you have all these single graves with the artistic monuments, which I think are trying to tell a story. Well, maybe the stories aren't real. Maybe sometimes they have used some myths, some legends, and they've used some symbols that had a meaning to the person who is here, who's lying under the grave. I think if I go there, I can climb the stairs and get an aerial view of this area for you. As I was walking to climb the stairs and to get an aerial view of this area, I came across this. It's the Campari Tomb. Now, the Campari Tomb is actually the statue of the Last Supper. The Last Supper was a painting by Leonardo da Vinci in the late 15th century. Now, this is the statue of that famous painting, and that's what makes this special. This is in fact the Campari Tomb, which means the Campari family are under this tomb. They are buried here. And this is one of the touristic monuments of this cemetery. Many tourists come here to see this because it is of great historical and artistic value. Let me show you. So this is the statue of that painting. The painting itself is very famous, so the statue is of high value to the artists. So there is a guy, I don't know, giving a toast, probably, and then all others are looking at him as if he is saying something important. Okay, now this is the very top. We can't climb any higher. And here you can get a nice view of the entire cemetery. Not the entire cemetery, this is only one section. There is a huge section right behind those trees. But here you can see the main building, the entrance where we came in from. And here are all the tombs. And now, again back to class. Well, die is a verb, as I said earlier. And the noun is death, right? Death. Now, when you are really sick, very, very sick, that you have pain in your body and you can't walk and you have a backache and a headache and you have fever and a high temperature or something inside your body hurts and you want to tell your friend that you are really feeling bad, you can say, hey, look, Jack, I can't go out with you tonight. Why? Because I'm at death's door. I'm at death's door. What does it mean? to be at death's door means to be really sick, to be very ill. You know, I'm really sad because I think my grandpa is at death's door. I think my grandpa is at death's door. It means my grandpa is really sick. He is very, very, very sick. He is at death's door. Another thing I want to teach you, if you want to say that something is really, 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 really important to you, you can say that it is a matter of life and death. A matter of life and death. When you say that something is a matter of life and death, it means it is really important to you, as if your life depends on it. For example, this Monday, I have a very important job interview. And this job interview, to me, is a matter of life and death. This job interview is a matter of life and death. It means this job interview for me is really, really important. So when something is very important for you, you can say it's a matter of life and death. Look at this monument. So it's basically a father and a mother holding the dead body of their son, right? And this is the grave. And here are the names. Now, that is a dead body, right? That's a dead body. And the next idiom I want to teach you is over my dead body. Over my dead body, what does it mean? Over my dead body means under no circumstances. It means it's not possible. I am not going to let that happen. For example, my father tells me that he is going to sell my car. You're going to sell my car? Over my dead body? You are going to sell my car? Over my dead body? It means I'm not going to allow that to happen. You can only do it when I am dead and you go over my dead body. So over my dead body means I'm not going to let that happen. Now I'm going to find my way out of this place. It's a very huge place, so it's not really easy. I have to find the signs which say exit. Let me show you. Ushita, or exit. And then I will have to follow the path to find the exit. But the question I have, do you think this is a good place to dance? Why am I asking this? Well, it is related to the next idiom I want to teach you. Dance on somebody's grave. What does it mean? Why would you dance on somebody's grave? Unless you are happy that they are dead, right? So sometimes when you hate somebody so much, you can say that I want to dance on his grave. I want to dance on her grave. What does it mean? It means when they die, I will celebrate. I will be happy. And it's not really a good idiom, but I just told you to improve your knowledge. And if you hear it somewhere, you would know what it means. Dance on somebody's grave. It's not really a good idiom to use. Don't use it. But I just taught you this idiom because maybe you hear it someday and then you say, I know what it means. So try to improve your knowledge, but don't ever use it. And don't hate anyone so much that their death would make you happy. And that is it. So I hope you've enjoyed this place. Now I'm going to grab a cup of coffee to drink and then review all the words and idioms that we have learned together. Grazie mille. Prego. My cup of coffee is here, but before we proceed to the review part of this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, click subscribe. Okay, let me get my notebook. So, the first word we learned today was a verb, to die. For example, he died in an accident. Someone who dies is dead. Like there were many dead people in that cemetery. or he died in an accident and now he is dead. When somebody is dead, they are taken to a cemetery and then they are buried. So they buried the dead person. And then there is a funeral. A funeral is when people gather together and they mourn for the person who has died. And we talked about two different ways of saying that someone has died. We can say they have kicked the bucket or they have passed away. If you are very ill or very sick that you might die as a result, you can say, I am at death's door. I'm at death's door means I'm really ill, I'm very sick. When something is very, very important to you, you can say that it is a matter of life and death. If you want to say that something is not going to happen, that you are not going to let that happen, you can say, over my dead body. You want to sell my car? Over my dead body. And the last one, if you really hate someone and their death would make you happy, you can say, I want to dance on their grave. To dance on somebody's grave means to be happy because someone has died. That is it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson and see you in the next videos.